Hello, welcome to this tropical update for the Indian Ocean, the Western Pacific. We want to give you an update on these potential areas for development. So there's a high chance now in the Indian Ocean because of that system spinning in India there. There's a moderate chance of development near Guam there, and then there's a still a low chance in the north near Japan there. And there's still like tropical storm Typhoon Yagi there in Vietnam. So let's see what's happening in the Indian Ocean first. This is the GFS. So this is now, it's practically a tropical storm already because of that. You see that tight circulation and the rain and everything. So it's practically a tropical depression or storm already. So they might classify this or not, because like later today and like tomorrow you're already going to India there. So if it gets named, it will be now. So let's see, they will go into India, cause a lot of heavy storms and rain there. And let's see, later it might keep going there, keep affecting like Nepal, northern India with some storms still until like early next week. And let's see, so please be careful there with the storms from the system and everything. Now in the Western Pacific, we have the system near Guam, and the GFS takes some time to develop this, but it eventually develops in the North Mariana Islands. But during these next few days, there might be a lot of heavy rain near Guam and the North Mariana Islands because of this, so please be careful there. Then it develops this into a typhoon, goes into the southern islands of Japan there, into China. But the GFS is already exaggerating on that strength, so it probably will be weaker than that. Now the European shows it there near Guam, some heavy rain, and it eventually gets into a tropical storm probably, but struggles a little bit and kind of dissipates when it gets there. But it has a bigger system coming just north of the Philippines later by the 18th. And the Canadian has the system near Guam there developing, and that circulation brings some storms to southern Japan and Taiwan and China. And then that system eventually gets to a tropical storm and typhoon, goes towards southern Japan. So we gotta watch that and watch some small systems that might affect the Philippines and China and Taiwan later. The icon has those two circulations there, and let's see the 0Z. So it has it there. That low pressure is just bringing some storms to the southern islands of Japan, and that one's it shows almost developing there, right over Guam, some heavy rain. Then it goes probably into, as a tropical storm into China there, the icon has. So be monitoring this if you are in Japan or China there, even Taiwan. So, and be careful in Guam these next few days. There'll be a lot of heavy rain. So let's just see if we might get some gusty winds from this. In the Bay of Bengal, there's some gusty winds in most areas. Some islands there's some higher gusts. Near Sri Lanka there's some high gusts as well. And then later it might continue southern India, Sri Lanka, some higher gusts because of this. And those storms in India might have stronger winds too by like next week. So be careful there. Let's see. It has the system, the North Mariana Islands, gusty winds there because of the system developing. So like 50 to like almost 60 km/h gusts as this passes like just over like Guam, San Jose and those areas. So please be careful. Then it has going towards some islands of Japan later, some gusty winds. And it has this belt of gusty winds like through the Philippines next year, like Palau, showing some gusty winds by next Thursday. And like next Friday is already showing the Philippines some gusty winds in some areas. So be aware there. And for Guam, first we have the rain in the next 2 days. It already shows Some heavy rain approaching there, but nothing crazy yet. Next 2 days, next 3 days, this system will already pass over. So Guam like some 86 millimeters, but just north of Guam, like San Jose, 180 millimeters. So please be careful if you are there. Might be some isolated floods and stuff. And next 5 days already show like 271 millimeters in San Jose, 200 millimeters in Guam. Next 5 days. So please stay safe there. There might be some flooding in most areas. Shows further north some 268 millimeters throughout those islands there. So please stay safe from that rainfall there. Near Palau and Micronesia, shows you like 119 millimeters, 129 millimeters. So more heavy tropical rain there. Be careful. In other areas of Micronesia, some more passing storms. And the Philippines start to show in the central Philippines some more heavy rain there. But like later next week, until next Wednesday, next 2 days and 22 hours, like 3 days, shows already some 12 millimeters in the Philippines, a passing storm or two. But until next Thursday, this wave of moisture starts coming towards the Philippines. The rain increases in Palau there and approaches the Philippines. And until next Friday, more there in the ocean, already approaching the Philippines. And throughout next Friday, shows more than 200 millimeters, 190 millimeters. So there'll be a lot of heavier rain next Thursday and Friday, especially Friday, the 13th of September. So be careful there. There'll be some heavier downpours as that moisture from the Pacific approaches the South China Sea as well, and more throughout some other areas. Even the northern Philippines, still like 100 millimeters some areas. So be careful. Might be some areas of flooding and stuff. And then up in Japan there, it shows the next 5 days, more in southern Japan because of these systems. Some 57 millimeters might be in the form of storms. Some 71, 60 millimeters in the southern islands of Japan there. So stay safe in those areas. Just some passing storms, but nothing crazy, but stay safe. In case this gets into a fully fledged system, I'll make more updates. So here's the GFS. It also has more than 200 millimeters in Guam next 5 days, almost 200 in San Jose as well. So be careful in those areas. Palau has more than 200 millimeters as well. Micronesia, 199 millimeters, 150. So stay safe. Those areas might be a lot of heavy downpours, and parts of the Philippines as well. Then the GFS takes us towards Japan later, and by the end of the 5-day period, it already has more than 100 millimeters in the southern islands of Japan there. And let's see later what might happen. Later it has even more because it has this system developing and heading towards Japan there. But that's just one scenario. The Europeans not showing this. So let's put the European until the end. Then it kind of goes as a very weak system through the southern islands of Japan. Maybe the remnants into Korea later. But that's like 2 weeks out, so let's focus on the present now. So, and now we have this big problem in Vietnam and China. It's still like some tropical storm conditions there. A lot of moisture affecting those areas, so please be careful there with the remnants of this typhoon. Next 2 days already shows more than 196 millimeters, 200 millimeters still in northern Vietnam. So some very heavy rain there still, be careful. Northern Laos, some very heavy rain as well. To eastern Myanmar, especially in eastern Myanmar there, so please be careful there. Through central Myanmar, it has this moisture keeps going, and more heavy downpours through central Myanmar. In the coastal Myanmar, so like 100 millimeters as well, and down through central Myanmar until the southern coast, some heavier downpours as well. So please be careful. Now in the next 5 days, still a similar thing in Vietnam, because the system we have left, but shows more than 200 millimeters parts of northern Laos, 200, even 300 in eastern Myanmar. Tara in the next 5 days shows more in Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia. Some heavier rain in northern Cambodia, all through Laos basically, so be careful there in Laos, near the southern coast of Cambodia, in southern Vietnam there might be some heavier showers, so be aware. For Thailand, more passing showers and storms. And later, by the end of the 5-day period, we have shows a lot in like western Myanmar there, throughout western Myanmar into Bangladesh. So by the end of this period, it shows like more in Bangladesh, shows a lot, like almost 200, more than 200 millimeters through Bangladesh, eastern and southern Bangladesh. So please be careful. For northeastern India, we're showing more than 100 millimeters, especially northeastern India together with Myanmar and Bangladesh, more than 100 millimeters next 5 days. So please be careful there. There'll be some problems with this rainfall. Eastern India as well, along with Bangladesh, and central India will have that intense low pressure system that's just off the coast. It will start bringing those storms to the coast there. As you can see now, we already have some very intense storms near the coast. This is live now. Show some very intense storms there. The low pressure system is spinning there. So, and this will be worse like central India, so like central northern India, more than 200 millimeters. So there might be some very heavy storms central northern India. Be careful there. Next 5 days in southwestern Sri Lanka, some rain and storms through the west coast of India as well. So be aware. Let's see, some areas of the Indian Ocean shows some passing showers, maybe a storm or two in the Maldives. So yeah, in some islands there's some more storms. So be careful there. The GFS has a similar thing, but it doesn't have as much as the European. The GFS like 170, 180, and the European had like 200 millimeters. So, but it does show a lot of storms through central, eastern, northern India as well. So be careful there. Nepal too shows a lot there. So there might be some heavier storms as the system goes through northern India near Nepal, and the GFS that doesn't have nearly as much as the European. So remember, the European showed more than 100 millimeters throughout Bangladesh, Myanmar, northeastern India. The GFS only like 70 millimeters, but it does have more in southern Bangladesh in some areas. But I think I trust more the European, so be careful there. Showing the next 5 days a lot in the Solomon Islands, more than 100 millimeters in some areas. So some heavier showers and storms there. Be careful. Some more for Central Guinea, for Indonesia. Some more storms in Borneo, Malaysia. So be aware there. And let's see. Some more systems for North Central Japan there. Some more rain for North and South Korea. So be aware there. And some more systems for Russia, more rain for Eastern Russia next 5 days. From Mongolia and China, showing a really stronger system there. But this is just a forecast, and these models change all the time. So this is nothing is certain here. But be careful for Southeastern Asia, India especially, and Vietnam, northern Laos. Still might be some flooding there. So be careful. Let's see this map so you can get the bigger picture. There's the rest of Typhoon Yagi there, the system in India. So it shows that all those storms in India and the rest of Typhoon Yagi going through northern Laos, southern China, some very heavy rain there. This is Monday, tomorrow. Shows more storms through Thailand, Cambodia, southern Vietnam, some probabilities there. Some more showers and storms during the day in Indonesia. So let's see, we keep this going to Tuesday. Still some very heavy rain into northern Laos, eastern Myanmar, alright, central northern Myanmar as well, and more storms for northern India, central India, like eastern India, and shows still more waves of showers in Vietnam there. Then like later on Tuesday, some more heavy rain in central Myanmar, Vietnam, still some storms in Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, and then you see those rains keep coming towards the coast of Myanmar there into western India, and by next Wednesday I shows us moving to Bangladesh there, northeastern India, Bangladesh, starting to get heavier by like next Wednesday, Thursday. The European showing very heavy for northern India, Bangladesh, next Wednesday and Thursday, even Cambodia, Vietnam there, and Laos. So be careful. There'll be some dangerous rainfall with this. Now the GFS, it shows those very heavy rain, northern Laos, Vietnam, and Myanmar, China. So, and the system in India, some very heavy storms there too. The more wave of storms towards Vietnam and Myanmar there. And it also shows more northeastern India, Bangladesh for next week, and the storms in central India there. So please be careful and stay safe. Bye.